Let me ask you something that might be uncomfortable. What if you are actually doing better than you think? What if the financial anxiety you carry around every single day, that low hum of worry about money that never fully goes away, is lying to you? Because here is a stat that stopped me cold when I first read it. In a study of middle-income earners, people making between $50,000 and $80,000 a year, over 60% described themselves as financially struggling. But when researchers actually looked at their numbers, the majority of them were, by every objective measure, financially stable. They just could not feel it. And that gap between the reality of your finances and how your finances feel is exactly what we are going to close today. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to give you 8 specific real-world signs that you are doing well with money, even when your brain is telling you otherwise. And I am not talking about vague, feel-good advice. I am talking about concrete markers, the kind that financial advisors actually use, that will help you see your situation clearly, maybe for the first time. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where you stand, you will stop comparing yourself to the wrong people, and you will have a completely different relationship with how you think about your own financial progress. That is the promise I am making you right now. But before we get into it, I want you to do one thing. Drop a comment right now and tell me this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how financially confident do you feel today? Just a number, that is it. 1 being, I am barely holding it together, and 10 being, I have got this completely handled. Drop your number in the comments right now because I want to come back at the end of this video and show you why that number is probably about to change. Go ahead and do it. I will wait. And while you're down there, make sure you are subscribed because the video I am dropping next week builds directly on everything we are covering today. All right, let's get into it. And stay with me because sign number 3 is the one that surprises people the most. And it is probably happening in your life right now without you even realizing it. Let's start with something that sounds almost too simple but is actually profound. You paid your bills this month. Not just some of them, all of them. You woke up on the first of the month, the rent was due, the electricity was due, the phone bill came in, and you handled it. Nobody called you. Nobody sent a final notice. Nothing got cut off. You just paid it and moved on with your life. Now, I want you to really sit with that for a second, because I know it feels like the bare minimum. I know it does not feel like an achievement. But let me tell you about Marcus. Marcus is 31 years old, works as a logistics coordinator in Atlanta, makes about $52,000 a year, and he told me, and I hear this constantly, he said, I don't understand where my money goes. I work hard, I make decent money, and at the end of the month, there's nothing left. And then he said something that stopped me. He said, but I've never missed a bill. Marcus did not realize that he had built, without even trying to, a financial baseline that millions of people in this country do not have. According to Federal Reserve data, nearly 40% of Americans cannot cover an unexpected $400 expense without borrowing money or selling something. If you are consistently covering your obligations every single month, you are not struggling. You are stable. And stability is the foundation that everything else is built on. Now here's the second sign, and this one requires a little honesty. You are not using credit cards to survive. There is a difference between using a credit card as a tool and using it as a lifeline. If you swipe your card for groceries or gas and then pay that balance off at the end of the month, you are winning. You are using the system the way it was designed to benefit you. But if you are putting groceries on a card because there is no other option, and that balance is just growing month after month, that is a different story. The reason this matters as a positive sign is this. If you are covering your day-to-day life without leaning on revolving debt, it means your income is aligned with your lifestyle. That alignment is rarer than you think. Think about Sandra, a 27-year-old teacher in Chicago. She was embarrassed that she only had $800 in savings. But when I asked her about her credit card balance, she said 0. She paid it every month. She did not even think about that as a financial strength. She was so focused on what she did not have that she completely missed what she had built. A life that her income could actually support. The third sign. This is the one I promised you. You have never had to ask a family member for money. Or maybe more accurately, you have not had to in a very long time. I want you to think about what that actually means. It means that in every crisis, every car repair, every medical bill, every rough patch, you found a way. Maybe you pulled from savings. Maybe you picked up extra work. Maybe you cut back for a month, but you handled it without picking up the phone and calling your parents or your sister or your friend and saying, "I need help." Now, there is zero shame in ever having done that. Life is hard and community is how humans survive. But if you have reached a point where you are financially self-sufficient, where your safety net is something you built yourself rather than something you borrow from the people you love, that is an enormous milestone. Most people do not acknowledge it because it happens gradually. You just quietly stop needing help, and you never stop to recognize it. Let's talk about sign number 4, and this one is about your relationship with small purchases. If you can buy a $6 of coffee without doing math in your head, you are doing fine. I know that sounds absurd, but hear me out. There is a version of financial stress where every small decision carries weight, where you stand at a counter and you are calculating whether this purchase means you cannot cover something else later. If that feeling is gone, if you can make small, reasonable purchases without a wave of anxiety or guilt, your finances have reached a point of genuine breathing room. Now, I want to be careful here. Careful. This is not a green light to be careless. Carelessness is how people who make good money end up broke. But there is a difference between discipline and deprivation. A person who is truly struggling cannot spend $6 freely. If you can, notice that. Sign number 5 might be the most overlooked one of all. You are building something, even if it is small. Maybe you have $500 in a savings account that was not there a year ago. Maybe you have a 401k through your job that you contribute to every paycheck, and you do not even think about it because it happens automatically. Maybe you paid down $2,000 in credit card debt over the last 8 months. These things feel invisible because they are slow. Progress that is slow feels like no progress at all. But I want to introduce you to someone. Her name is Diane. She is 44, works in healthcare administration in Ohio, and she was convinced she was failing at money. She did not own a home. She drove a used car. Her savings account had $400 in it. But when we actually looked at her situation, she had paid off a $9,000 car loan over 3 years. She had a 401k with $23,000 in it. Her credit score was 718. Diane had been slowly, quietly winning for years and had no idea because the wins were never dramatic enough to feel real. If you are building anything, anything at all, you are doing better than you think. Sign number 6 is something I call the zero panic zone. Think about the last time something unexpected happened. A car repair, a medical copay, a home appliance that broke. Maybe it was stressful, maybe you were annoyed. But did you panic? Did you lose sleep? Did it send you into a spiral of fear about how you would make it to the next paycheck? Or did you just figure it out? Because here's the thing. The ability to absorb a financial shock without your life derailing is one of the most powerful indicators of financial health. Not wealth. Health. Wealthy people have more buffer. Financially healthy people have just enough buffer that shocks become inconveniences instead of catastrophes. If your unexpected expenses are annoying rather than devastating, that is a sign. Sign number 7. You have options. I want you to think about this carefully. Could you, if you had to, leave your job in the next 60 days and not be immediately destroyed financially? Could you take a slightly lower paying job that made you happier? Could you move to a different city if a better opportunity came up? Could you say no to overtime without it wrecking your budget? The presence of options, like even small ones, is a sign of financial power. Most people never think about it this way because options are invisible until you need them. But if your financial situation gives you even a little room to make choices rather than just react to circumstances, you are ahead of where most people ever get. And here's sign number 8, the last one, and maybe the most important. You are thinking about the future at all. The fact that you are here, watching a video like this, thinking about your financial situation, asking yourself whether you are on the right track. That behavior, that mindset, is itself a sign. People who are truly in financial crisis are in survival mode. They are not thinking about optimization or progress or what the next year looks like. They are thinking about today. The fact that you have the mental space to reflect, to learn, to want to do better, that is a luxury that financial stability creates, and you have it. So here's what I want to leave you with, and I also want to circle back to what I asked you at the beginning. That number you dropped in the comments, has it changed? Because if even a few of these signs describe your life, I want you to go back down to that comment. Reply to yourself and tell me what your number is now. I read every single one. Financial wellness is not a number in a bank account. It is not a house or a car or a certain salary. It is a collection of quiet, unsexy realities. Bills paid, debt not spiraling, options available, shocks absorbed, progress made slowly. You may not have everything figured out. Nobody does. But if even a few of these signs describe your life, I want you to take a breath and recognize that you have built something real. Something that took effort and consistency and sacrifice, even when it did not feel like any of those things. You are doing better than you think. Now the question is, what do you do next? If this video shifted something for you, share it with one person in your life who needs to hear it. And my next video is going to cover the exact moves people in your position should be making right now to lock in this stability and start building real wealth. From zero drama, just the steps. You do not want to miss it. I will see you there.